this is a Swift Challenger 540, just going to take you around the van and show you how it operates. In front of the van you've got your jockey wheel, hitch and handbrake. We'll demonstrate these to you in person here on site. In the front locker you have your gas bottle with your gas regulator on the bulkhead at the top there. And on top of the bottle you've got your gas on-off valve, which essentially open is on, closed is off. The pipe work that goes into the front of the bottle is a reverse thread fitment, so you need to turn it the opposite way to a standard fitment or a standard thread to get it to release from the gas bottle. On either side at the front of the caravan you've got your wind down legs to stabilise the caravan. They are just there for stabilising, not lifting. You put them down so they touch the ground rather than lift the caravan off the ground. You've then got your water pump connection, which is very simple. Blue trigger at the bottom, you pull the blue trigger back and push it into the side of the caravan, and the same to release, you pull the trigger in and pull it back to release. The actual pipe itself drops down inside your aqua roll, and we'll demonstrate that, how to fill it from the inside of the caravan. Heating and hot water flow, you need to remove this before you use the heating or hot water on gas. It's essentially the vent for the heating and hot water systems, for gas system. You've then got your mains power lead coming into the side of the caravan that connects to the mains power on site. You'd always plug it in first before you turn the mains power on the site you are on. And when you disconnect it, you turn the power off on the site, then disconnect the lead also. We've then put a battery on the van just to demonstrate everything is working the way it should. It's a 110 amp leisure battery. If you wish to purchase the battery, you can do. It is brand new, a little bit dusty because it's been in our workshop where we've had some work done, but it's £75 if you'd like to purchase a new battery. Normal price of £110 if you don't buy it during the handover. We've then got the two fridge vents. Two fridge vents are very simply there to allow hot air at the back of the fridge unit and to take some cool air in. Behind the top one you'll also find a gas flue for when you're running the fridge on gas. We've then got the motor mover and wheel nuts. I'm going to send you a separate video in the email, or with this video email link, to show you how the motor mover works. We have a generic video for that, and we'll also torque the wheel nuts before the caravan leaves site so you can see they've been tightened correctly. The fresh water that goes in the front of the caravan has to come out somewhere, and that's what these two grey pipes are for down the side. You've got two flaps at the front here, so you put the two bits of grey pipe into these large diameter holes and they'll go down inside your Wastemaster. Next up is the toilet system. So as you can see, I've just pulled it out. It fits into place and locks into place at the bottom here with the door up normally. Release the handle and pull the cassette out. The neck here turns out so you can tip the waste away. The grey cap here is a measure for your pink and your blue fluids. The orange button on the back of the cassette is a pressure relief button, so when you're tipping the waste away it doesn't spit and splatter back at you. Before you use this cassette you'll need to put 1 litre of water in here and a cap full of the blue fluid. At the top, you've got your toilet flush tank. You'll open it up with the caravan keys, and in here you'll put 3.5 litres of water for the flush tank and a cap full of the pink fluid prior to use. On the back of the caravan on either side, again, you've got your wind down legs to stabilise the caravan. Again, they are only there for stabilising, not lifting the van. So again, you just let them touch the ground, but you wouldn't lift the van with them. On the left-hand side rear of the caravan, you've got the storage locker for underneath the bed at the rear, which you can also access from the inside of the caravan. Then coming down to the front of the caravan, you have your storage locker, for your wet storage locker, where you can put wet accessories in should you need to when you're on site or when you're travelling. And also in there you have a 3-pin plug just behind that white flap. So when you connect it to mains power, you can have power out to your awning or the outside of the caravan if you haven't got an awning up. Going inside the caravan now, the first thing we're going to need to do is fill the water system up on board the van. So underneath the seat on the front right hand side of the caravan, you're going to need to make sure the yellow drain down valve just underneath the seat there that you can just about see in the video is parallel with the floor as it is at the moment. If you lift that valve upright and point it towards the bottom of the seat, all of the water in the system on board the caravan will drain back out onto the floor underneath. So like I said, before you fill the system, valve parallel with the floor as it is at the moment. Once that valve's parallel with the floor, you'll open all the taps up on the hot side of the water system, as you can see. And once that tap's open, you'll be able to fill the water system up. I'm just going to shut it back off, but you'd leave all of these taps open to fill the system up. And then you come over to the control panel by the door, turn on your power for the control for the caravan on this button just here, and then turn your water pump on so the blue light appears just here. Once the water system is full, you'll have water running out of every tap continuously on board the caravan. Obviously, you will need to have your aqua roll connected before you turn the water pump on. If not, it'll just draw air through the system on board the van. And as you can probably see, that is steaming away. Water's nice and hot, so everything is working as it should. Also, on this control panel above the door, you have your interior lights for the caravan on these two switches just here. Down the bottom, you've got your caravan leisure battery for when you're on site, so you'd run the 12-volt system from the 12-volt battery on board the van. If you're towing, you can select the 12-volt battery from the car, just here. But obviously, when you're on site, you'd use the 12-volt caravan battery. And then, as the buttons here allow you to go through the options in the control panel, and you can set your clock just here. For the options on the control panel, we do advise that you read the manual that comes with the caravan. Now, to warm the water, once you've got the water system completely full, as we have at the moment, you can warm the water in two different ways. First of all, we're going to take you into the wardrobe, and in that wardrobe, you'll actually see your 240 trip switches. A little tip for you: if you're on site and you're not sure if you've got mains power coming into the caravan, hit the test switch just here. If that switch drops down, then it means there is power coming into the caravan from outside. If that switch doesn't drop down, then it means there is no power coming into the caravan from the power source on site. At the bottom here, you have three switches. So you've got your space heater, mains power. You need to have that turned on for your heater to work. Water heater in the centre here is your electric water heater. And again, you'll need to make sure this switch is turned on to allow the water system to warm up on the preset electric water heater. It is around 35 to 40 degrees of water temperature when you are on the mains water heater. Battery charger on the end, again, we advise you have this on at all times. So when you're travelling down the road, the battery charges from the car you're towing with, and also when you're on site, it allows the battery to charge from the 12-volt battery charger on board the caravan from the 240 supply. So that is your mains control panel for your trip switches, with your water heater in the centre on electric. The switch to the left, the black switch, sorry, or the black switch I'm talking about. Space heater on the left hand side, which you also need to have on to let the space heater work on mains. And on the right hand side, you've got your battery charger, which, like I said, we do advise you leave on at all times. To warm the water up on gas on board the caravan, you'll need to make sure the gas system is turned on in the front locker. You'll spin the gas valve round to the flame symbol just here. The green light in here indicates the water heater has ignited on gas. If you get the red light up here like we will in a moment, it means it's actually failed to ignite. So if you've got the two lights on together, it has failed to ignite on gas. All that could simply mean is that the gas is turned off in the locker, you haven't removed the cover on the outside for the vent system, or there is air in the system and it hasn't got gas through to the water heater yet. If you think that may be the case, we do advise you ignite the hob, cooker and grill just to get gas through to them, because that is the last point of the gas system on board the caravan. And while we're on the subject of the hob, the 240 electric ring here at the back will only work when you're on 240 mains. It will not work from 12-volt power. The rest of the hob, grill and oven all work very much the same as your household appliances, with your igniter on the front. Next up, we're going to go to the heating on board the caravan, which is lovely and toasty at the moment, as I've left it on for a little while before I come into the van. The control panel that you see here that says Ultra Heat is your 240 mains heater for the caravan. Now down the side, you'll see at the moment I've got it set to 500 watts. That 500 watts essentially means, let me shut that blind so you can see what I'm talking about. That 500 watts means the amount of power that the heating and hot water is going to, the heating system is going to run from the power on site. If you're on a site with 2000 watts available, obviously you'd select the 2000 watt option. But essentially it's 500, 1000 or 2000 watts that heating supply can run from. The outer grey dial is the one you turn to select that, with the little grey tab here on the side. And then you can control the heater temperature on the dial in the centre between 1 and 9. Obviously, the higher you go, the hotter the heater will be. So that is your heating on electric. To run the heater on gas, very simple to do. You've got a dial here. on the right hand side. 0 is the off position. You can spin the dial round to the relevant setting. Hold down the gas valve and the gas system will self-ignite as it has a piezo igniter on it. Once it has ignited and you've got a pilot light in this window down the front of the heater, you'll continue to hold the gas valve down for a further 5 to 10 seconds. Once you've held it down 5 to 10 seconds, just make sure the pilot light is still lit. Then slowly release the gas valve on top of the heater. Once you're done with the heater, you can turn the gas supply back off by going to the 0 on the right hand side here. The heater also features blown air. So this dial on top is your fan speed. The dot here in the centre indicates the heat is going to come out the front of the heater, if you just want it coming out the front. The wave symbol is continuous blown air. So essentially the air will come out those vents that you see down the bottom left hand side and right hand side of that cabinet, the white ones, and it will continuously blow the warm air around the caravan. If you want to have it on automatic blown air, so it cuts in and out with the thermostat on board the caravan, you can select the A on the right hand side, and that is automatic blown air. So that is your heating system for the caravan. The last thing we're going to go through on this particular van is the toilet system in the bathroom. Very simple to use. The blue button on top of the toilet is your electric flush for the toilet system. On the left hand side here, that little grey symbol that you see, there's actually a little circle. That little circle illuminates red when the toilet waste cassette is completely full. The toilet seat itself turns for your convenience. However, when you're removing the toilet cassette from underneath the van, the toilet seat needs to be back in the central position as it is now. That is also the same for the grey waste handle that you can see down the front of the toilet there. That grey waste handle needs to be pushed to the wall furthest away to allow the waste into the cassette underneath the van. If it's in the open position when you try to remove the cassette, it will lock the toilet waste cassette in place, the same as if the toilet seat is turned. So please make sure you put it back to the central position, as if you do manage to remove the cassette when that toilet, or remove the toilet waste cassette when that grey waste handle is pushed towards the wall, you will more than likely have broken the toilet waste cassette itself. So this is the Swift Challenger 540. If you have any questions, any further questions on the caravan, please don't hesitate to give me a call here at the Caravan Company. I'll be more than happy to help. We appreciate the business and we look forward to seeing you here on site soon when you collect the caravan. Thank you for now. Bye bye.